Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. I'm Miriam Denari, and I'm here with Lauree McArdle. She's the Operations Manager for Arlington Independent Media. Welcome, Lauree.
Thank you.
We're so excited to talk today about WERA FM 96.7. Tell us about WERA and why it's so important in Arlington.
Well, thanks for having me, Miriam. We are in the what's called the air studio of WERA. This beautiful space was created to broadcast to the Arlington community.
Now, have you tested the limits of the 26-mile radius with the station? I mean, how far can it be heard? What's the reach?
Yeah, we have about a 3.5-mile radius. We broadcast at 21 watts. It covers just about all of Arlington, a little bit into DC. And it can get fuzzy in some areas, but for the most part, we do cover the entire county. We're low power FM, so that's why we're such a low wattage. But it's small but mighty, and we can cover most of Arlington.
Well, I can tell you the signal's strong in Arlington Ridge and in Clarendon and in Ballston. I've enjoyed listening on the radio at 96.7 on my FM dial, and there's a great blend of music and talk, and the music is really diverse as well as the voices that you hear. My husband and I commented that listening in the morning is like sitting in a very happy coffee house. Amazing content.
Thank you. We're really excited.
I've been a member of Arlington Independent Media for 5 years. Does my membership cover privileges to produce content and programming for the radio station?
Yeah, that's the first step, is being a member. And since you've been a member for so long, you've already taken the introduction course and have taken some of our other classes. But somebody brand new would need to become a member. They would need to take the Introduction to Community Media course, and
Great course.
Yeah,
Great course.
It's a great overview of the mission of the organization as a whole, all the possibilities of what you can do here, because we're not just radio, we're television as well, as we are on the Arlington Weekly News.
There's not much you can't do. There's a few rules.
And then there's a couple different tracks you can take, but specifically for WERA, what you would do is you would take the on-air radio broadcast class. And we have a couple options. Sometimes that meets once a week for 3 weeks. Sometimes we do a quickie weekend class that you can come Saturday and Sunday. And that basically will show you how to operate this entire room so you can have a program.
I've got it. Here's my application and membership form right here.
That's the first step. And then to get a program on the air, you need to apply. Which is a little separate from the television aspect of Arlington Independent Media. We have the Program Advisory and Review Council. They're made up of an independent, it's a larger group of AIM members, but mostly members of the community. They review all the applications and see how it fits with the WERA mission, and approve, or kind of, they don't really deny, they kind of ask to, they ask for more information or to resubmit.
Gotcha, got you. The equipment here is amazing. I feel like a kid in a candy store. I look around here and it just surprises me that, regular people can operate machinery and equipment like this. Tell me about the technical crew, the people behind the scenes.
Yeah, it was a couple year-long process. It wasn't that it just happened last year. Over the course of 3 or 4 years, the FCC had announced that they were opening this window for applications for low-power FM, and that process started in 2012, and it was a community member that approached us to see if we were interested in that. And it took some time to develop that process and whether or not it was a good fit for us, but it really made sense and it was kind of a no-brainer to bring it on.
Recently, Arlington Independent Media changed its tagline to raise your voice. Between the television content and now the radio, why is it so important that citizens of our community create programming and come on the air and raise their voice?
Well, as you may know, there's a lot of broadcast media is owned by big corporations, and only a handful of them. And most of that is commercial in content. And so it's very specific and is very limited in many ways. So having non-commercial media such as Arlington Independent Media and WERA is really important, because it gives members of the community an opportunity to share their First Amendment rights and share their voice that otherwise wouldn't be heard.
And their passions too, right?
Very, very much so. And what's really cool that I think with radio is that there's some people who are like myself, who aren't always really happy to be on camera. I'm very happy to be here today.
You look lovely today.
But there are some people, particularly some of the diverse communities in Arlington where English isn't their first language, where it might be easier for them to share their stories and what they have to say.
And their music.
And their music in an audio format, because they don't have that camera in front of them. So I think that's what's really exciting, and that's what with this project, I've been really excited about, is being able to bring those people in.
Well, I have to tell you, one of the reasons that I'm so excited living here in Arlington and doing the Arlington Weekly News. Arlington Weekly News is going to be one of the programs on WERA regularly. And there we cover local news, we cover zoning issues, we talk about Snowmageddon. We actually have a member of Arlington that's being considered for the Supreme Court. This area is really very, very local and very global, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're adding new programming every day. Where it's a work in progress and it's evolving. And that's one of the most rewarding things, is that as I meet with producers who've been approved for programs and work with them to get their program started and on the air, I get to meet all of these really great people who up until now hadn't been a part of our organization. And they're finding out more about what we do, and they're coming to us for the radio, but then they find out, oh, I can do video too? And I'm looking forward to having some multimedia events at our facility here, where we're on the air, we're live on the channel, we're live on the radio, we've got something going on in the studio.
And because you can stream, anybody can be watching during those specific hours. What I find really remarkable is that with the television station and now the radio station, you have a real multimedia outlet. That creates an opportunity not just for somebody to have a YouTube channel, but they could also have a podcast. They could also live stream anywhere, increasing that 700,000 individual reach in Arlington to really go global. I mean, imagine the retweets. It really gives us an opportunity to not only share content here in Arlington, but have that content be preserved, archived.
Yeah, and that's what's great about the technology, is that it's almost like a living archive of Arlington.
It is, which is why before we go, I have to mention the technical support behind programming in Arlington. The radio station and the television station have people who volunteer as crew members. So if you're not somebody who wants to be in front of the camera, but you want to run a soundboard, you can do that, right?
Yeah, we've got lots of opportunities for people to do that. In fact, that's how I got my start. I just wanted to be behind the scenes. I didn't want to be on the air, back in college. And there are many people who they like to do the technical stuff. They like to operate the board and make sure the sound is okay and set up the music and cue things up. So there's all sorts of opportunities for that. And then we have production facilities that people can help out with too. And it becomes this creative community that we have here.
The best parties in Arlington happen at Arlington Independent Media.
Yeah.
Well, Lauree, is there anything else that we need to know about WERA other than tune it in right now?
Tune in 96.7 FM on the radio dial. You can go to wera.fm and find our online stream. And you can get all the information. How to get involved is on there. Program applications are on there.
Special times for the Arlington Weekly News because programming times are changing.
Yeah, there's the program schedules on there. It's being updated regularly. We have an on-demand section, so programs that have aired, you can go and listen to again if you missed them or caught the end.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's constant. Every day something new is going up on the website.
Well, Lauree, I can't even thank you enough for your heroic effort and the effort of everyone at Arlington Independent Media and Arlington for making this happen for us. I want to thank Lauree McArdle, Operations Manager for Arlington Independent Media. I want to remind our viewers, don't be shy, get moving. Don't be quiet, raise your voice. Listen to WERA 96.7 on your FM dial and watch the Arlington Weekly News and listen. That's the Sustainable Scoop. I'm Miriam Gennari. Back to the news desk.